Hey everyone, thank you for joining me for what I'm hoping is kind of like a quickie recap, a quickie catch up of October, just some highlights of decks that I worked with and a few other things I might remember. For decks, I was a bit scattered with my focus, but I did work with two decks more than others. And the first is the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot, which I do have a review of. I will link that in the cards if you're interested. But the short of it is that, I was pleasantly surprised by how good some of my readings were with this deck. I did overall enjoy my time with it. I do have it back in its box because I'm pretty sure I won't be pulling this back out until maybe around this time next year. So it was fun. It would have made for a better Oracle deck in my opinion. So there's that one. And then the other one that I paid more attention to this month is the Intuitive Heart Tarot. And I also have a review of this deck if you are interested. I really love this deck. I've been having a great time with this deck, and I'm kind of tempted to chop off like the three sides. I saw someone on Instagram do that with their copy, and it looked great. But these borders are very unobtrusive. They don't bother me. But the cardstock, the material of the cardstock, it does kind of like cut into my hands when I shuffle. Not the hugest deal, but maybe trimming the deck might help. I don't know. But in any case, this is, I might venture to say this could be one of the top decks of 2020 for me because I just love it. Love everything about it. Okay, so there's that one. So then two other tarot decks that I worked with a little more sporadically. This one is my Tarot of a Moon Garden, which I trimmed the borders off of, the borders that like everyone and their mother hate, which I didn't hate, but now that I've trimmed the borders off, I am loving this deck so much more. I am so enamored by the shape of it and how the images do, in fact, feel like they pop more for me without the borders. And so ever since trimming the deck, I have been using it on and off and have really been enjoying this. And then a deck that I used maybe just a couple times in October. I had meant for it to be one of my working decks for the month because it's just perfect theme-wise, which is the Darkwood Tarot. I had worked with this consistently like 2 months prior, ever since I got it in maybe August. I have no sense of time this year, but when it came time, like, October-wise, like I was over it and I just didn't feel like working with it. And I was super afraid that this was going to be another one of those decks where I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like I'm done permanently. I'm ready to move this on. Like I've had my time with it. But I decided to hold on to it anyway, just in case I was, just kind of being fickle. And what I did was I was called to pull this deck out on Halloween, actually, and use it to do a spread created by T over at Cosmic Creeper. And I fell in love with it all over again. So thank goodness I decided not to be too hasty and rehome the deck because I really do love it. I just maybe need a break. Maybe she just needs a break. So I'm going to put her away for a little bit and focus on some of these other decks. Okay, moving on to Oracle. The only Oracle that I used and not consistently throughout the month, but enough to get a feel for the deck is the Alice the Wonderland Tarot. The Alice the Wonderland Oracle. And yeah, I've heard from so many people that this is a confronting deck. It's pretty aggressive with its messages, and you have to be in the right frame of mind to use it, etc. And yes, I did find that while, you know, some of the readings were certainly direct and certainly on point to what I've been preoccupied with, I didn't find it as intimidating as maybe I thought it'd be. And once again, I do love this art from Jasmine Beckett Griffith. I love Alice in Wonderland. I have wanted an Alice themed tarot, and I know there are several out there. I just haven't been able to find one that resonates with me. So I just have this one oracle, Alice themed oracle, and I like it. For Lenormand, I worked with 2 decks, one being the 1889 Lenormand. It's just so beautiful, and I think the mood of the deck is very suited for kind of this time of year, because it feels very autumnal for me. So there is that. And I did use this for a Lenormand Instagram challenge, which I was really shitty about keeping up with on a daily basis, and even shittier about posting to my Instagram when I did take part. But, you know, it is what it is. And then the other Lenormand that I used was my very impulsively created DIY that I've titled the Spoopy Lenormand. I created it in October, and it didn't take me too long. It was just something that I wanted to do for fun as a distraction. And so this was a good time as well. I think I posted a couple pictures up on Instagram, but okay, so that was it for Lenormand. And then really the only other deck, and I didn't even use it, but I did purchase it, another impulsive purchase, is a playing cards deck. Yes, Star Wars The Child playing cards. It's pretty inexpensive. And, you know, the concept is cute. So it's shaped like this. I almost wish that they would have made it just a complete circle, you know, complete symmetrical circle, instead of, you know, the more literal cutout, the shape of his pod. But, you know, it's like a novelty deck. And it's cute. I think some of the images could have been punched up a little bit in terms of brightness. And then, but overall, just such a really, really cute deck. Because, you know, like one of these days I plan to learn how to read playing cards. And so, of course, I need me a playing card deck. I only have one other one, which is the Magic Nickel, I think. I think that's the only other one I have, yeah. So, I mean, just super cute. And it is like this linen cardstock, which is nice. Yeah, that's it for me in terms of decks. October, I did have my 10-year anniversary with the Huz, and we went to the Edgar Allan Poe Museum in Richmond. And that was a good time. Oh, I watched The Craft, the movie, the original 90s movie. And I have to say, I was afraid that, you know, I wouldn't like it as much because maybe it was too dated, but actually I feel like the movie has held up very well over time. There were a couple like tropes that I wasn't a fan of, but overall I did find it entertaining. I think that's it. I think that is it for my October. Hope you all are well, and until the next video, much love and take care.